Alright, in the previous video we mentioned this entry under the letter A where it actually starts with an underscore, but it's sorted under the A's instead of under the symbols. And we'll show you why that is and how you can control that. So let's go to the reference page here. And what we want to look at is this paragraph called Ignore Chars IX, and we'll zoom up here a little bit so you can see this. And basically this paragraph gives you a list of characters that you want FrameMaker to ignore when it does its sorting. So we have the dash, we have the underscore, and then the rest of these characters are N dashes and M dashes, which are usually used in page ranges and that type of thing. So what this is saying is FrameMaker, ignore these when you do your sort, and you can see that the underscore is being ignored. So let's take that out so it's not ignored. And then we'll go back to the body pages. And let's go back to 150% so you can see this better. And we're going to go ahead and generate the index. And you can see what happens now. That character that starts with the underscore is actually sorted under symbols because FrameMaker is no longer ignoring it when it does its sort. So let's go back here and we'll do a couple of things just to show you a couple of the nuances and things to watch out for. So let's put the underscore back, and it doesn't have to go in the same spot that it was. It can go anywhere in this line. And let's add the @ sign and the ampersand. So we're going to tell FrameMaker to ignore those when it does its sort. So we'll go back to the body page and we'll update this. Okay, so it puts the underscore A back under the A's that we would expect. But oddly enough, it puts these two entries up at the top with no group header. And if you think about it, it makes sense because what we've said is ignore the @ symbol and ignore the ampersand. Well, what character immediately follows those? Well, what follows those is a space character. And so what FrameMaker does is any index marker that starts with a space character gets sorted at the top without any kind of group heading. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add that, find a way to get those to sort under the letter A. So let's go back to the reference page. And the one thing we can do, the easiest way to do it is tell it to ignore spaces. That's not always ideal though, because when you have other entries, it'll strip off the spaces when it does its sort, and that's not always what you want. But let's do that anyway. Let's add a space here. And in most cases that's not going to matter, but let's go ahead and generate it. So what's actually going to happen now is it's going to drop the @ sign, the ampersand, and the following space, and then it's going to do its sort. So you can see here now they sort under the A's because we've told it to do that. And we still have this one under symbols because we didn't tell it to ignore the percent sign. So let's go back there. And we'll show you one more way we could do this. Let's take the space out and we'll go back to the body page. And if we control, actually let's generate this again just so it's not correct. Okay, so we're back to what we had before. It's sorting, it's considering the space character when it does the sort. So one of the ways we can deal with that is we can Control-Alt-click on it to go to the marker. And we'll bring up the marker window, and what we can do is we can use our square brackets and say, well, technically it starts with a space because we're ignoring the starting characters, but let's put in square brackets how we actually want it to sort. So if we put an A in square brackets at the end of each entry, and we're actually doing the percent as well as the other two. So square bracket A, square bracket, and then we'll do the @ sign as well. Then we click Save, and then we're going to go ahead and update the index. Because really what we're trying to do here is we're trying to preserve the space character in the entry, but we want it to sort under the first letter. So let's go back here and you'll see now, yeah, we did get it. So what we basically said was, look, You're going to drop this character in the front. We've told it not to sort on these characters. It's still going to sort on the space, but what we've done is using the A in square brackets, we've told it sort under the A's instead of sorting under the first space character.